What's good, YouTube? Antayami here, back with another video. And unfortunately, our White Forest GOAT, Ryzeal, I believe that's his name, literally bubbled at the very last round versus the Fire King matchup. And Droll was cooking. Very ironically, at the exact same time he was playing, I was playing, just playing on the side, and it was literally the same matchup. But here's the difference. The Fire King player here obviously is online, so it's some random person, and the Fire King player there was also just cooking a region or a YCS, so he was like what, 8-2. The White Forest player Ryzeal was also 8-2, but he got drolled to death. Same thing with me. I'm gonna go ahead and showcase here just a simple replay, and I probably will just talk about some of the things of that nature, and we'll go from there. But without further ado, guys, if you guys are enjoying the content, make sure you guys leave a like and comment down below and subscribe. And again, if you guys have any questions, hit me up. I also have a Discord that we also discussing things in there as well, and different ways to play White Forest and just other decks in general. So yeah, make sure you guys join that as well. And without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the replay. All right, guys, so this is going to be here game number 2. Again, game number 1, I kind of got my, cheeks clapped. He went first. I didn't really open any non-engine, and he just had enough gas because Fire King doesn't put up that much. It doesn't seem like it's that much, but they put up like 4 or 5 interruptions, and he also had 2 hand traps, so I couldn't really do much there. So we're gonna go ahead and hop into the game number 2. And game number 2, my opponent opened double Droll, Ponix, the High King, Garunix, and then the Skyburn. And I opened Solemn Judgment, which I think the Judgment cards are fantastic, right? They're super strong in this format. Same thing with Warning and Strikes. So I think these are very much auto inclusions for going first in a lot of occasions, because it saved my skin in a lot of situations. Ryzeal wanted Sword and Nibiru, and this hand is basically just a Ryzeal hand, but sometimes it is what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the Wanted here. Again, trying to play around the Droll, and my goal with the Wanted here is to set up a way to beat Droll, right? So that's the best way to do it. So we're gonna go ahead and search out the Delabelle Star, and then we're gonna pitch Nib because I knew I was going against Fire King. I sided out the other 2 Nibs, and I kept it in just one just because of side deck patterns. Then Black Witch is going to set the Deception, and then we're going to activate Deception, tributing the Black Witch. So if this gets ashed or ogred or whatever, then I still have X Ryzeal to do the full Ryzeal combo, which is really strong. And it resolves, which I was like, okay. So most likely I was thinking like I'm going to get hit with Droll. I can just sense it, right? So yep, Droll. Then next after that, we're going to go ahead and go into the Azamina, Hollow Azamina, and then we're going to go into Severa. Then we're going to go ahead and just go into the Ryzeal card combos. I guess I could have just like normal summoned this instead of dumping, but it doesn't really matter here. So we're going to special summon, and then we're going to go into the Detonator in defense mode to play around Druid's Worm, because I feel like Druid's Worm is only in Malice and decks of that nature, but I've seen people on Bestials and stuff. I haven't been even seeing Fiendsmith Bestials and stuff, which is insane. So always great to go into this in defense mode, in this position at least, and then we're going to equip back the Aggregator, and then we're going to set Solemn Judgment, and we're going to pass. We're going to set the Deception here, which he kind of forgot in his top feature match, but I mean, shout outs to the GOAT. He got very far, which is really good. And then he top 6 Druid's Worm, of course, right? So he goes Druid's Worm, targeting my Black Witch. He banishes it, which is fine. Doesn't really matter. He goes into battle phase, beat over the Severa. I'm going to activate the effect because I place Sylvia the Trap, or Severa the Trap. Then he's going to normal summon Ponix. I think here for a very long time, because I'm thinking like he's probably going to link off these 2 into like an SP, or maybe if he's playing Dark, he could have went into Dark into the using Druid's Worm to send a Detonator and stuff. So I didn't want any of that to happen. I still want to protect the castle with the Detonator. So I decided to negate this. It keeps him off the fill spell, keeps him off the continuous spell, and just a lot of different things, right? So I decided to do this, and I feel like it was the best time to do it based off my interruptions here. The Druid Swarm can't trade with the detonator yet, and we're still off to the races. That was his normal summon. The Fire King deck doesn't really have that many extenders, so I thought this was good. So we're gonna Solemn Judgment that, and then he just passes turn, which is lucky for me because he didn't even set Skyburn. Interesting. Okay, because I guess he could have technically oh, it's cards you control. Okay, so it doesn't matter. I thought it was like also in the hand for some reason. So anyway, so we draw into Ezet here, and of course he's gonna Ponyx add itself back. And then now we're gonna ultra play around this Droll this time, because now we don't have to search for the Hollow. Hollow is gonna recur itself from the graveyard, so that's gonna be really good. So we're gonna activate the Deception to flip it up. Then we're gonna activate Hollow. Hollow is going to add itself back to the hand, and then we're gonna activate it, and we're gonna go into the Severe again. Again, not trying to get greedy. We have a push with this, which is good enough. If this full combos, we win the game. So we're gonna go ahead and go into that. I'm gonna put this into attack mode just because, and then we're gonna go into Ezet. Ezet effect is going to do her thing. We're gonna start Sylvie, then we're gonna get met with a Droll. We're gonna negate Droll, and yeah. So we're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna activate the effect of Sylvie, and we're just gonna pray that our opponent doesn't have Nib here. It's Fire Kings, and they usually play Impulse, so a lot of decks are not playing Nib. And it's either you play under Nib and lose, or you play past Nib and get the victory. So I went with let's just go through Nib. This is summon number 3 here, so we'll see what we can do to at least make Nib hurt less. So we go summon number 4 into Synchro 6, and then we're going to pitch the Tails. Tails is going to reset itself, and then we're going to activate Tails, because this is going to be, if I summon this and get Nib, this is dead. Well, it's not dead, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it's better to do this, because if I do get Nib, then I can actually go Sylvie, summon itself back, special summon Ryzeal, and then we can go into a dual drive and still be really good here. But anyway, so then we're going to summon back our Azamina Ezet, synchro into 8, and then we're going to activate the effects Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, adding back Wanted, which I don't know why I added back Wanted here. I feel like it could have been like Solemn Judgment here again, but it's whatever. So, and then I searched this, because technically Azamina should have searched Wanted. I add back Judgment, and then Wanted would add this anyway, but I'm just, you know, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and special summon Ryzeal, and then now I'm just like, okay, if he didn't nib me there, most likely he doesn't have nib here. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go into the dual drive play. I'm gonna get my extra draw here, because I don't know why I didn't do the play I said before. And we still got a wanted draw here and stuff like that. So we're still really good, and we still have this in the graveyard with this and stuff. It's just a lot going on here. So then now we're going to dual drive. Dual drive is going to end the game here, because obviously we just win. And now we're going to set up Cross. That's going to deal with the Druid Worm and most likely poke for game. So pretty much we're going to poke for game. So yeah, that's going to be game number 2. In this replay, and then now we're gonna shoot over to game number 3. For game number 3, my opponent obviously is going first, and Psycho Reader is crazy. Psycho Reader is really crazy. But I open Perulia, Meowis, the Node, or sorry, Sword and Node, plus the Phyllis de la Bells. My opponent opens Pot of Prosperity, Sanctuary, Psycho Reader for some reason, and then double Karen. So yeah, I'm feeling really confident here, because these cards do resolve. So I go standby phase Perulia. He goes into the island, or Sanctuary into island, and then he's going to activate the effect of Pop Karen, adding Garunix, and then we're going to get the draw off the Garunix here. Really good. Drew into another Ryzeal card. I'm just drawing Ryzeals all day today. No White Forest cards. I do play a good number of White Forest cards, FYI. So yeah. And then we're gonna dump the. He's gonna dump the Avata. Then this is where we're gonna chain the Meows to get the extra card here. So he's gonna go into that. I'm gonna draw off this, which draws into a Nib. So I'm like, oh yeah. So if he goes into like the Printy and Princess play, we're just gonna drop Nib, and the game is pretty much over. And then all of a sudden, my opponent decides to go into this, which to me doesn't make any type of sense, because like that gives up an interruption here. Like, I get what he's trying to do. I think he's just trying to protect the castle a little bit more, because if I destroy this, it brings back the 2 level 8s, and then this brings out a second one. I guess that's what my, oh, because Karen can pop, and then I don't know. I thought it was a little silly, but yeah, it's interesting. Then my opponent goes Pot of Prosperity, banishing 6, which is fine. And then out of all those non-engine cards, as we can see, we saw the Extravagance, which is dead, Magma which is probably not the best choice here. Ponix, he's already playing. Book of Eclipse, better for going second in this position. Droll and Lockbird, and Call by the Grave. And of course, he goes with the Droll and Lockbird because he knows what deck I'm on. So he goes for the Droll and Lockbird. And my opponent has a lot of good interruptions here. A lot of good interruptions. So he's going to go in phase with that. And then we're going to go for turn. We top deck the Ash Blossom, which in my mind, in the beginning, I was like, it's kind of like whatever. But it actually comes up in this game. So we're going to start with this to get out our Justicator, and we're just going to use her to apply a lot of pressure because she can just randomly pop a card. I don't know what yet, but to be determined. Then I go into X, and I know my opponent has Droll here, and I'm pretty sure my play would have been the same here because I'm trying to play around Droll as much as possible, but the fact that I do know it's in the hand, I was more confident in my plays here. So we went this, we're going to summon X, lock her into substance until XYZs, level 4s from the grave or from the extra deck, and we're not searching because we control this, so good. We're gonna use Aggregated to negate the Sanctuary because if I ever want to pop Fire King Island, this can't protect it. So we're gonna go Special Summon Sword effect. It's going to add Ice Ryzeal, and again, we still have our normal summon here, so Ice Ryzeal is really insane. I get hit with a Droll, and then we're gonna overlay into the Detonator, because this Detonator is just really strong. We're gonna attach the Aggregator, and then we're gonna normal summon the Ice, activate the effect of Ice. Ice is gonna summon out our Star Ryzeal. I'm testing Star Ryzeal right now, and just because Droll is like everywhere, and I do like access to my field spell consistently, I'm just testing it out and see if I like it right now, because he was a bonfire at this point, but I was like, let's just try with Star Ryzeal, and he came up in this game, which is really lucky for me. So then now I'm going to go ahead and spell and trap the Cross, and then now he's going to pop his XYZ Garunix. I think he's a Garunix. Yeah, he is. Okay. And then that's going to trigger to bring back out cards. And then I went ahead and went with the Fire King Island pop here. I don't even know if this was the correct play or not to do this, but I thought that since he's bringing back 2 monsters and stuff like that, he can't go into the Grunix again because this is negated. Maybe this wasn't the right play. Maybe I should have waited a little bit and then popped it, but I got antsy here. So I popped the Fire King Island, and then he summons back both of these. Fine, and then the island is going to activate again. I'm going to trigger the Detonator because I want to get as much pops and value off the Detonator as possible. So Detonator is going to pop both the spells here, and then Fire King Island is going to clear, and then he goes Garunix and Kieran, and he goes into Avata. So then now he brings back 3 monsters, I believe. 1, 2, 3, popping that, and then now we have Garunix effect here. We're gonna go ahead and try to pop that to just get monsters off the board. Like, they basically already used all their graveyard effects. The only effect that has not been used is like Arvada Monster Negate effect. So then we're gonna pop that, and then he's gonna dump the Ukinix. Ukinix is gonna get hit with the Ash Blossom, and then he goes into Avata to negate, popping the Karen, and then this is gonna bring out the OG Garunix. And then we're just gonna pop the OG Garunix, because if this card is destroyed by battle, it special summons another Fire King monster from the graveyard, which I think you get access to Ponix, and I didn't want that. But if I pop it with the Della Bellstar Vengeance, then it'll get its effect on standby phase, but I was planning on not giving my opponent a standby phase. So yeah, so now everything is known except for this one card in my opponent's hand, which is Psycho Reader, which is kind of troll. And now we just go for game here. I'm going to go for the Nib play, and I'm just going for the OTK shot here. Then we go node into sending Nib into X, and then I go into the Gars. The Gars is going to double my attack of my Detonator, and then we're going to beat over the Avata for 42, and then of course we get in for game here. So yep, that is it for the replay off of that. Again, shout outs to Reham. I can't say his name, sorry, for making it that far. Very, very, very tough position for White Forest this format. It's just a lot of strong decks. The power levels are higher. There's a ton of combo decks. White Forest was like a scary combo deck, but now you got the Malice and then the Mizurugi decks running around, and they're just killing it with the combo potential. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.